Turns out Jack Hughes isn't the only bust, quote-unquote, on the New Jersey Devils who is shaking off that label in 2021. What is up, viewer out there watching this video? Larry's back here, and today I wanted to talk about somebody on the Devils who has been defined by people as a bust, who apparently isn't really all that bad anymore. And one thing that I've been really captivated by when it comes to this Devils team so far is their youthful exuberance. That's a phrase I use a lot on this YouTube channel. It's taken from Eminem's Rap God, but in the context of talking about hockey teams, I think it's easy to understand what I mean by saying youthful exuberance on a hockey team. It's when a team like the New Jersey Devils, for example, or the Chicago Blackhawks are defined by the youth and what they've been showing out there on the ice. Teams like New Jersey are being carried by guys like Jack Hughes right now. Ty Smith is a rookie scoring leader as a defenseman. He's brand new in this hockey league. Jack Hughes, obviously, he's 19 years old. He's in that conversation as well. For Chicago, the other example we have Alex DeBrincat and Kubalik and the three rookies, Pia Suter, Philip Kurashev, and Kevin Lankinen coming in here doing well. It's the young guys, it's the youthful players on the team exuding skill, competence, and overall ability. And when it comes to the New Jersey Devils, even though Jack Hughes is the bust that's becoming a lot better this season, the only guy to actually be overtaking Hughes in points on the Devils right now is Pavel Zacha. And Zacha is a guy who has been defined by many people as a bust much longer than Jack Hughes has been. So let's just go over the story of Pavel Zacha over here, talk about how this guy has changed the dynamic and how I'm just so happy to see it, man. So, at the 2015 NHL entry draft, the New Jersey Devils drafted Pavel Zacha, get this, 6th overall. And the thing is, back when he was eligible to be drafted, Pavel Zacha in the OHL was a point-per-game power forward with really strong, physically dominating qualities as a big, stable center left-wing player. It's why, if you take a look at the projections, he was a guy that was supposed to go 6th, according to TSN and Bob McKenzie. Other outlets had him lower, like Future Considerations had him at 15, ISS at 10, but McKean's, TSN, and Bob McKenzie, they had him both at number 6, which is where he went to the New Jersey Devils. Now, Pavel Zacha was taken before guys like Ivan Provorov, like Zach Werenski, Timo Meier, Mikko Rantanen. Then you have Denis Gurianov and Matthew Barzal, Kyle Connor, Thomas Chabot, Eric Sinek, Colin White, Brock Besser, Samsonov, Konechny. All these guys in the 2015 draft were taken after Pavel Zacha, with the ones going right immediately after Zacha having immediate short-term success in the NHL. For example, Ivan Provorov, number 1 defenseman in Philly, no big deal. Zach Werenski, same thing with the Blue Jackets, no big deal. Mikko Rantanen was a guy who was so good in the previous few NHL seasons. He was on pace for like 120 points before he started slowing down that one year. And then you have the guys after, obviously, Zaboral, DeBrusk, Senyshyn. Those are probably the biggest busts in the first round of that draft, just considering the circumstances. But after that, Kyle Connor, elite goal scorer, Thomas Chabot, number 1 defender on Ottawa, Brock Besser on his way to 200 points, Konechny almost there too. He's a solid player. But for Pavel Zacha, he's a guy who has had the lowest amount of points in this top 10 by a very significant margin, and it's to the point now where you take a look at this guy and what he has been doing in the NHL, where in his debut year in the New Jersey Devils system, he had 24 points in 70 games. Okay, cool, but Mikko Rantanen was out here getting a whole bunch more. In his second year in the NHL, 25 points, 65 games. Where's the improvement there? You have Brock Besser coming out here and dominating worlds, becoming a Calder contender in 2018. Not to mention Matthew Barzal, who was over a point per game, and he won the Calder that year, also taken after Zacha in the 2015 draft. In 2019, Zacha's production was kind of the same, 25 points in 61 games played, but you take a look at what the other guys were doing. Timo Meier had 30 goals this year. He had more goals than Pavel Zacha had points, and Timo Meier was taken, 4 picks after Zacha in the draft? So for a very long time, people were taking a look at this guy and saying, darn, the New Jersey Devils done goofed this draft pick. Sure, is he a capable typical NHL player who does indeed have some really good tools. The physicality, it's there. His skating, he can really get going when he wants to. He's got a great top speed. His puck handling at those top speeds, hey, it's pretty good too. He's always had a panoply of skills to his game. It's just the reason he wasn't able to do all too well immediately, like the Rantanens and the Myers and all that, was because he just hadn't put it all together yet into a polished NHL top scorer. Until this season, because Pavel Zacha right now is on a 9-game point streak with 4 goals and 7 assists over those 9 games, 11 points on the process. And he's leading the New Jersey Devils in scoring with 13 points in 16 games played. That, my friend, is a very heartwarming comeback story. Now, you can get into all the Corsi for and the goals for per 60, and even though he's not on top of those categories at 5v5, at the end of the day, this is a step in the right direction for Pavel Zacha, because even though he does have work to do defensively at even strength, you'd rather see this jump in scoring than not, because he's up here with Jack Hughes and Ty Smith as the top scoring guys on the Devils. You want to take a look at this right here? Pavel Zacha was born for the 2015 draft. He's 23 years old. Jack Hughes is 19. Ty Smith, hey, the guy's 20. So this is what I mean by youthful exuberance. It's the youth, the young guys carrying this team. And even though the New Jersey Devils, if you go over to the East Division standings, they're second last in the division. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about that. This is a young team. This is a rebuilding team. This is a team that is going to be better later rather than now. But when you have these guys in Zacha, Smith, and Jack Hughes, who are all just barely under a point per game now, and the oldest of the bunch is 23 years old, it gets me really excited for what's going to happen as Zacha continues to put all those tools he has together into a combination of a player that just knows how to score goals and get points when the team needs him. He's scored a whole bunch of goals, too. Like, he's been finding open ice, he's been finding space, and he's been unleashing his really good shot lately. You also have to consider the fact that John Hynes, the previous New Jersey Devils coach, really, how do I say this? He kind of screwed over Zacha with the way he was being deployed. The scratching, the ice time, it was never really there for Zacha under Hynes, which is why there was even a good progression of time where he was going up and down between the NHL and the AHL. So now that Lindy Ruff is here and using Zacha on the left side, he's giving him room to move and he's putting him in a position to actually succeed. Hey, we're seeing it right here. The points per game, that's great. Take a look at how exactly he's been producing this season amongst guys in the 2015 draft. Timo Meier has a lower points per game than Zacha this year. Mikko Rantanen is just a little bit above with his 1 point per game on the season. Kyle Connor, just a little bit above as well. He's got 19 points in 20 games. Brock Besser, hey, he's got 24 games played, and in those 24 games, he's got 22 points. He's just barely above Zacha as well. Obviously, though, these other teams with a whole bunch more goals, the Canadian division especially with a whole bunch more goals, it does have a little bit of a different argument, but still, Zacha's leading his team in points. What more do you want this guy to do? He was a bust for so long, and now under a different coaching system, he is actually being given the opportunities to flourish. And it only took 5 years. I think this is a really good example of why sometimes teams just have to wait, because when a guy is 18, 19, 20, sure, it's awesome to see the guys who are 18, 19, and 20 do as well as guys like Connor McDavid or Jack Eichel or Austin Matthews or Patrick Laine or even the other draftees in that 2015 squad. Mitch Marner up on top of the draft. You have Noah Hanifin, who is not really a 5th overall caliber guy anymore in most people's eyes, but he's still a very capable top 2 defender on the Calgary Flames, especially since being paired with Tanev. Then you have the Brock Bessers and the Kyle Connors and the Shabots, and these guys were all really good so early, but Zacha is joining the party here, folks. If he keeps trending in this direction, it's no longer going to be, oh, why was Pavel Zacha drafted so high at 6th overall in 2015? It's going to be, they took Pavel Zacha in 6th overall. Not the worst pick in the world, but you know what? It's okay. kind of similar to what Noah Hannafin is, right? Because at the end of the day, that's a lot better than, wow, they screwed up that draft pick. Because when it comes to, wow, they screwed up that draft pick, there are literally like 2 out of the 3 Boston Bruins picks in the middle of that first round where you can say, wow, they screwed up that draft pick. The Bruins, man, they could have had Barzal, Connor, and Besser, or Shabbat, or Konechny, or whoever, all at the same time, but no, they chose Zaboral, DeBrusk, and Senyshyn instead. But you know what? At the very least, you have one guy in this first round who is redeeming himself of that bust status in Pavel Zacha. We'll see if those other Boston guys are able to do that in the upcoming future as well. So talk to me in the comments what you thought about this video here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you think about Pavel Zacha. And bye.